We are back. We just went over the 14th episode of the life of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and this episode focused in on the Battle of the Trench. And so I do have some questions prepared for the students here about what happened into this week's episode. So let me put the questions up on the screen, and you guys can witness the kids answering the questions and get an understanding as to what happened during this famous battle that the Prophet and his companions fought, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, against the Quraysh and the Jews, because the Jews had also betrayed the Prophet. They broke their peace agreement with him. So this is the Retreat of the Trench, episode 14. Let's look at the first question. This episode began with Khalid bin Walid. He was very worried. And a couple of his men approached him and asked him, why was he worried? So why was he worried? Was it because he was thinking about why was it that the Prophet Muhammad's men would defend him so intensely? Or was he worried about wanting to go home? He didn't want to fight the war. Or was his worry and anxiety due to being sick? Go ahead, Tahira. Which answer, Tahira?
He was thinking what caused the Prophet's men to defend him so much.
You guys agree with her answer? Does everybody agree? Yes, good job. Yeah, he was trying to figure out what was it about the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam that made the men obey him and want to, love him. And also, let me share with you guys something else that the movie didn't mention. Also, the Prophet had just married Salama. Salama was Khalid bin Walid's first cousin, and he and she were very close. In fact, they used to train together. The wife of the Prophet, Salama, she knew how to wield a sword. She was a warrior like Khalid bin Walid was. And the Prophet had just married her, and Khalid bin Walid knew that Salama was a very wise and intelligent woman. She wouldn't just marry anybody, because she, in fact, nobody thought she would marry anyone after Abu Salama. So Khalid was thinking about that. He was saying Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam must not be too bad of a person. His men obey him. His men love him. And my cousin married him. So he had all that going on in his mind. Good job. Let's look at the next question. Question number 2. What did Naim tell the other tribes to cause the dissension? Did he tell them that the tribe of Qurayza had retreated from the war and given hostages to the Quraysh? And in turn, those hostages would become hostages to the Muslims? Or did he tell the other tribes to run away and not fight the Muslims? Or did he tell the other tribes to join up with the Quraysh? Okay, Brother Sully, go ahead.
To run and not fight the Muslims.
Okay, does everybody agree? Does anybody disagree?
Yeah.
Okay, what do you think the answer is instead?
The The first one.
Okay, do you guys agree with him that Naim told the other tribe that the Jews had retreated and given hostages to the Quraysh? Do y'all agree with that answer?
Yes.
Yes, that's the right answer. Exactly, that's the right answer. Naim told the other tribes, that the Jews were not going to fight. That instead they left the war, and gave hostages to the Quraysh, and they believed that. And let's look at the next question. Why did the Jewish tribe of Qurayza? They didn't want to fight on Saturday. They wanted to fight the next day. Why is it that they didn't want to fight on Saturday? Was it because Saturday was their holiday and they could not fight? Or was it because they were just afraid? Or because they wanted the Quraysh to pay them money? Okay. Brother Shuaib, go ahead.
They were afraid.
Okay, do you guys agree? Did they not want to fight on Saturday because they were afraid? Who disagrees? Go ahead.
Me. It was their holiday.
Exactly. The reason why the Jews didn't want to fight on Saturday is because Saturday is their Sabbath day. That's their holiday. Just like Friday is our holiday, our sacred day, Saturdays is the Jews and Sundays is the Christians' sacred day. So the Jews didn't want to fight on Saturday. They told Abu Sufyan, let's fight the next day. But Abu Sufyan didn't want to wait. So, did the plan that Naim came up with work? Yes or no? Did his plan work? Yes or no?
No.
You guys agree? Does anybody disagree?
Yeah.
Yes, it did work. His plan did work. They were confused. What happened at the end? Those men from Qurayza came to the Quraysh and told them, we got hostages. And then they believed. That's when Abu Sufyan believed the story that Naim had told them. And what happened as a result? Because that Naim's plan worked, what happened as a result? Did the Quraysh armies split up? Or did they not fall for the plan? Which one happened? Go ahead, Najma and Asma. As a result of his plan working, what happened? The army split.
Our hand is not up.
Oh, okay. Anybody else? Take the mic.
The army split.
Exactly. MashaAllah. The army split. So the plan did work. They were divided. They didn't know what to do. Their armies that they had were split up. And that brings us to the next question. Not only did Naim's plan work, and he succeeded in dividing the armies, but also what did Allah do to help the Muslims too? Did he send a storm? Did he cause hail to fall? Or did he cause an earthquake? Go ahead, Sully.
Sent a storm.
Do you guys agree?
Yeah.
MashaAllah, yes. To make the Muslims even more victorious, Allah sent a sandstorm. A sandstorm. And after that sandstorm, what did the Prophet ﷺ gather the Muslims together for? Did he gather them together to tell them that one of them would stand with him on the day of judgment if he brought back the news of what happened to the enemy as a result of the storm? Or did he gather them together to tell them to attack the enemies? Or did he gather the men together to retreat? Okay, go ahead, Sabrina.
He gathered them to tell them a man will stand with him on the day of judgment if he brought back news of what happened to the enemies.
You guys agree with her answer?
Yes.
Good
Yes.
job. Good job. MashaAllah.
Yes.
MashaAllah. And who was that man that the prophet chose to go and get the information for him? Was it Ali? Was it Abu Bakr? Or was it Hudayfa? Take the mic if you know.
Hudayfa.
You guys agree? MashaAllah. It was Hudayfa, radiallahu anha. So that's what we discussed in today's episode. And on the day of judgment, Hudayfa will stand with the prophet. So he was sent to go see what happened, because back then they didn't have telephones or anything like that. So the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam wanted to know, what happened. How many men were killed as a result of the storm, so he would know what he was facing when he fight. So he had to send someone to go spy, and that was a dangerous job because you could get caught. So Hudayfa was the one whom he sent. So next week, inshallah, we're going to tune in to see what happened. What happened as a result? What happened as a result of Hudayfa going to gather the news? Did he get caught? Was he successful in finding out? Did the Quraysh run away because of what the storm Allah sent? Did the people convert to Islam? We're going to learn all that next week. So alhamdulillah, I want to thank everybody for joining and participating in this week's episode of the life of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And I want to remind all of my students listening and everyone else, we'll get more about the life of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, because at 7 p.m. Brother Mukhtar will be here to speak about the life of the Prophet too. I think he stopped off last week with the migration to Abyssinia and what happened. So Brother Mukhtar will continue telling us what happened more. So I want you guys to be here for the 7 o'clock class. And I also want you to be here for the 6 o'clock class, because I will be doing the class on allegiance. And I want you kids to participate in that too, so you can learn Wala wal Bara. You can learn allegiance. All right. Any questions? By the way, is that Jean Louis' daughter in there? She's pretty. You are so beautiful, mashallah. And Sully, I say you look like your mother, but I think you look like your father. Was that your father standing next to you? Oh, that's your mom. Okay. You look just like your mother. And you know what? Your sister looks like her too. Both of y'all look like your mother. You are so pretty. MashaAllah. May Allah bless all of my kids here. All of you kids are just beautiful. Okay, guys. So I want to thank everybody for joining and participating. Be here, back here at 6 o'clock. Y'all got 3 hours. And then also at 7 for Mukhtar's class. All right, so I'm going to close out right now. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta astaghfiruka wa atubu ilaik. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Alaikum salam.
Bye.
Bye.
Wa alaikum salam.